stop getting these basic things wrong with your drive. If you want to lower your scores in 2024, guys, then this is exactly what you need to do here on Get Good at Golf. And if you're not a subscriber, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to do just that and get good at golf. So one big thing I see from people who are playing off the tee box, you might not enjoy hitting your driver, but there's a few things that you're doing wrong, and they're very simple things that you can change when you're out on the course. So how many times I see people come up, set here in the middle, right, feet are perfect, shoulders are perfect, and then from here your normal shot shape is a big slice. So you stand here, you make a swing, and you hit that shot there. Started relatively straight, but we've faded it straight into those trees. We're already in trouble. So now from here, I'm trying to scrape a few shots back. I've got to get lucky out of the trees. I've got to get a good lie. I've got to then try and go, right, I'll play for a bogey. The bogey quickly turns into a double, and then we're obviously not lowering our scores. So what we want to do is think about what your shot shape is. So whenever you go out golfing and whenever you go to the driving range, we all know what your normal shot shape is. If any of you say straight, you might be in that 1%. But again, most of you will either be a drawer of the golf ball or a fader of the golf ball. You notice I've not said hooker of the golf ball or a slicer there. We just don't want to use those words. But if you're a fader of the golf ball, we want to come over to this side of the tee box. So the reason why we want to use a tee box to our advantage, and that's point number one, is because now I can aim up the left hand side, up the left half of the fairway, and I can let that ball move back, and if it overfades, it's going to end up in the semi-rough. If it fades my normal amount, then we're going to be able to maybe hold that fairway, and we know if we're on the fairway, from there I'm going to be able to have a better chance of getting a good strike and then being able to get closer or onto the green. And that's one big thing we want you to do. So once we've got where we want on the tee box, it's now thinking about your setup. So at the moment I'm hitting a draw, so I'm going to come over to this left hand side, I'm going to aim down the right hand side of this, but now we want to make sure we get into the correct setup. So the first thing I do is obviously I set my club face and I bring my feet in together. From here I'm going to make a small step with the left foot and a bigger step with the right foot. I've then got that ball position nice and forward, but you will notice one big thing not only of getting my setup right there is that my left foot is turned out. How many times we have people with their foot straight? It very much limits how much we can turn, and we might hit that big block that goes down totally the wrong hole. So left foot turned out there, and then from here we talk about spine angle a lot. So we talk about everybody making sure that you're angled a little bit further back, but what I do is if I bring my right hand on last, what that will do, it probably comes around this side, but if I bring my right hand on second, that will start to get my shoulders tilting and again get me that little bit angle in my spine. I'm not angled back here, which a lot of people think, right, I've got to get my angle behind that, that's going to help me hit up. And as we know from there, we start to hit all different parts of the ground. We miss the ball, we top the ball, and it can come off in any angle. So once we've got that set up there, we've gone through those, we're on the right side of the tee box, I've got my setup looking nice and strong. And from here, I'm going to bring the right hand down, get into my normal setup, and then make sure that I'm getting to that finish in balance. And you'll see from here, I then hit my usual shot. Started up the right, draw to the left, and that for me has overdrawn a little bit, but that should end up in the left rough. So I've not gone into the trees, I've not gone out of bounds, I've used that tee box, I've been able to aim the ball down the right hand side, open it up a little bit, and then yes, I have overdrawn it, but it's only in the semi-rough. So I'm still in play, guys. So make sure that you use your tee box to your advantage as your first point, and then get the basics right, get that setup right, get that routine nice and simple so you can get into a strong position to then be able to get through to your finish and break down what you have done there. And hopefully, guys, that will keep more golf balls in play, that will help you lower your scores and get good at golf.